What's up, boys? Welcome to the channel. Hi, my name is Jayan. For anyone new here, this is like my second official video that I've uploaded. I've been playing Diablo for, I guess, about 3 weeks because I have the early access. So about 21 days. I've been playing it for about 3 weeks. So I was gonna do a review video only after I give it give the whole game a fair shake, meaning like at least blasting through all parts of the content, meaning up to World Tier 4 or even and also at least I have done the Nightmare Dungeon. But I think like recently there's all this controversy, there's this battle or controversy argument between like casuals, since they realize that you have to reset the characters level, where they require levels every season during seasonal content. There's this whole controversy over it, and I guess like at that point I was like, why not just give it my take on it, since I think I see myself as a casual in the game, and I don't know, maybe share with others my point of view in how I view this whole issue. So I guess the first thing first, I think, before we talk about all this, I think we have to talk about my experience as a guy playing ARPGs. I think I consider almost minimal to no experience. I think the only I've never played any Diablo game before. The only Diablo game is this Diablo 4. The only other ARPG that I ever played was PoE. I played One League Ultimatum, but I wouldn't say I was too into the game, because I played like 1 or 2 maps, end game 1 or 2 maps, and then I kind of quit after that because it was so complex and all that. So when Diablo 4 came out, I was very excited because they marketed it as something that's casual friendly, and I think like now playing the game for a few months, I do consider it pretty casual friendly. I think in terms of the skill tree, there's no if you just look at the skill tree itself, ability tree, the basic skill tree, it's pretty simple. Just a couple of side notes, one main node and a couple of side notes that appears out. Very easy to look through and play around your build. If you don't care about meta and all that shit, you can very easily go through and do your builds. There is that. And also the Paragon. Paragon bot is where the complexity comes in, but you can just look at the build guide and all that. You don't have to, for PoE, you need to watch a 10-minute build guide and all that. You need a separate, if you really want to really understand the build, you probably need something like a third party, like the Path of Builder kind of thing, to really truly understand how the build works and understand what items buy, all that. But all that is not required in Diablo 4. It's easy for you to learn, pick up and go through. It might be because it's the start of the game, I guess. So there's still not much systems. I'm pretty sure PoE didn't start off with that jump out of system at the start. It's probably just started with something very simple, but as years progress, as more and more seasons, and they put more and more systems to the core game, slowly the amount of content just gets bloated and higher and become more complex. So I think that's just illustrates my experience. So I think first thing first, before we talk about what does it mean to be a casual experience, I guess we should define what a casual means. I think in my opinion, I think what casual means probably is I think on average you probably, if you talk about hours or how much time you can play, probably about 2 to 3 or even lesser, 3 hours a day. Come back from work, home, play 2 to 3 hours a day. And I think very often for casuals, we are kind of defined by long-term goals. It's not that I think some people think that casuals are interested about mechanics or how the game actually works. I think that's untrue. Very often casuals care a lot more than care a lot, because we actually work by long-term goals. For example, I guess an example would be, in this case, like Renown, right? Maybe the long-term goal, I know for hardcore players, because they want all these skill points, ovals, potion capacity, or like the Paragon points. Maybe they will complete it within the first 3 or 4 days to get all this up. But maybe in terms of casuals, long-term goal maybe is after 1-2 months of playing the game, you're aiming to get all these unlocked, which is pretty important. So we're defined by long-term goals, and I think very often what we look for is a lot of this, especially grindy parts of it, we hope that it's a one-time good deal thing. So once you are done, we are time and over. For example, side quests, once you have finished it once, I don't expect to do it all over again because I'm a casual, I don't have so much time. I aim to complete the thing once and I am done. So I think keeping at that, maybe we'll talk. So now we go into my whole experience playing Diablo IV. I think 3 weeks in, how I felt, how I liked it, and how I enjoyed it. So first overall experience, I think I really enjoyed my experience playing Diablo IV. It's been a great game. I had a lot of time. I paid for early access, but it was a $70 well spent. It's kind of like almost close to 80 for me because in Singapore. If you convert USD over, it's almost $80 for me. But I really had a good time going through the whole game and going to play my build. Currently, I'm a bone spear necromancer, finishing on my playing all that. Currently level 61, and up to this point, I have been having a lot of fun with it. So I think we'll go into each aspect of the game and see how was it for me. So firstly, if we talk about story, I mean like as of all Blizzard games, story was great. The cutscenes are really amazing, especially like the final cutscene, when Lilith and Dorian's was fighting. Whoa, even after I watched the cutscene again, I always found that I'm always attracted to rewatch it like a couple more times on my own on YouTube, just rewatch the cutscene over again. I really feel myself inside. So the environment is really nice. You can see, it's a 2023 game, right? If you look at a lot of the graphics, the grass, the ground, the shading, the shadows, the light, everything, how the character look like. When you put it side by side with QB, which is like a ARPG, you could really see the difference and how the engines have, how technology have developed over time, and how the difference between the illustration has been. Not saying that QE is bad, but you could see like a lot of things more crisp and clear on Diablo 4. So next, if we talk about skill tree, I think as mentioned before, right, just now, I think like the skill tree is very simple. You only have a couple of nodes to care about, like one basic skill, one core skills, some like crowd control skill generally, and then some kind of trap curse or something along those lines, and then you probably have a movement skill in between, and finally an ultimate skill and some good, very OP passive lah. Generally speaking, that's all the skills you need to look about. The side nodes generally is just two single secondary node and one more third one. So it's really easy to understand. I think as if you're fresh, you never played any ARPGs before, you never thought about how to make a proper build, this thing is really simple to grab into. You don't have to look at any build guides. If you don't care about meta, you don't have to look at any build guides. You can jump straight in, look at the skill tree and make your build yourself, and you can perfectly go through the campaign on your own without caring about anything else. You don't need to care. Yeah, you don't know what gear to build, what skill select. But of course, if you really just want to go for meta and you're really lazy to do like skill building on your side, you could just go and look at build guide and just follow through, which is what I've done for my Bone Spear Necromancer. The Paragon also, I have not really looked into how to build it my own. I just follow a build guide, but I think it is complex, but also not that complex. So like most of the things are just flat stat increase. So it's pretty easy for you to know what you want to select, right? Based on your character main set, what is important for you. For example, like most it's probably gonna be intelligence for your damage, and if you're struggling with like essences and stuff, maybe some willpower and all that. So I think if you talk about it in a casual perspective, I think that the skill tree is really, really simple and easy to understand, and it's really easy for me to pick it up straight off the bat. Not have too much time to commit. If you really truly want to understand, go into deep dive Excel sheet to understand what each area, you can do that. But as a casual, if you just want to play through the game, rush through it, it is perfectly fine, and there's no need to care about any of other things. So next, I think another part, important part of the game will be gear. I think if you look at the gear, also quite simple. Most of the things is quite universal. Most of the things are universal except the weapons, which might differ slightly between classes to classes. generally, if you look, the helmet, the armors, the gloves, the pants, as well as your boots, your rings and your amulets are all interchangeable. It's all interchangeable and universal throughout the classes. Like what you want to look at is generally speaking the substats of the gear lah. Other than looking at the armor and all that or attack, you're looking at substats, which is, I think after a while if you play, I think if you go through the campaign, once you hit about level 30 or 40, I'm pretty sure you kind of know what kind of substats you're trying to look for based on the build. For example, it's not really good. For example, looking at basic pants is not good for me. I'm picking this just because of the legendary aspect, because I want blood ops for 45 or bonus skill necromancer. But in terms of substats like minion life, it's something that I don't really want now. So you pretty easily, once you know what kind of build you're going for, you will know what is a good subset to use. So there's that. And talking about gear, we can't leave out aspects, right? So aspects are also pretty straightforward. I think for quite a few of the, I think the aspects is pretty fun for me to farm, to get it, and a lot of the early on you could get these aspects to build up your character. Not completely, I think most classes are not completely reliant on getting the legendary aspects from legendary gear or uniques. Very often you can build a decent build just from the aspects that are farmable from the dungeons. So I think it's good. I had a lot of fun farming through. So I think from that, we can quickly go into the dungeons, right, which is key aspects of how you level and do your campaign in Diablo 4. So I think the dungeons are really fun. A good time running through different dungeons, different areas. But I have to say, like, after a while, like, the quest in the dungeons got a bit boring. Like, maybe because I played PoE before, for me, dungeon, if I think about it, I just want to go in, walk in, and just blast and kill as many enemies as possible. But very often, in a lot of dungeons, there's always some fetch quest, right? Pick up this bloodstone, bring it over there. I have to go through the whole dungeon, destroy these 3 items, and then head over there to open the door. Maybe that's just me because I just want to shoot and kill everything. But I think that after a while, this quest has become a bit repetitive and boring. I think like you have like on average, I think in each place 20 plus dungeons as a whole. Essentially, you could classify them into like 3 or 4 right dungeons only. There's not much variety if you talk about the quest. It's just it's either fetching the bloodstone, fetching some mechanical box, killing all the enemies, or finally like kill some beacon or some corpse pile or something. Essentially, these 4 different types of dungeons as a whole. It was fun to do the first time, second time, third time, but I think after a while now, since because I'm embroidering Renown and all that, it's gotten a bit boring, I'm a bit tired sometimes just trying to grind through all that. Yeah, but as a whole, I think I really enjoyed playing the dungeons, the enemies, and it's been really fun and challenging. Yeah, so I started out on World Tier 2. Maybe others who have no experience, they might have started from World Tier 1. But I think when I started from World Tier 2, I thought it was a just nice amount of difficulty. It was hard, but it was not hard enough to maybe want to quit the game and just rage quit. World Tier 1, which is definitely more easier. If you talk about pure efficiency, I mean, probably if you really don't care about anything else, just want to finish the game, you probably will just want to do World Tier 1, which should be very easy. But for me, I wanted the difficulty, so I started off straight from World Tier 2 and went up now to World Tier 3. So I think the dungeons the difficulty was just nice. I quite enjoyed it. It wasn't so hard. Yeah, but it depends on the build. So for me, like, because my build was trash during the whole campaign, so I really had a hard time, for example, like trying to kill the butcher. I only recently gotten my first butcher kill like yesterday, but I got like trash drops. So talking about butchers, right, I think this mechanic in dungeons is really exciting. I really enjoy it. I think that's something really fun. I think they should put in more of these like spontaneous spawner events to make the dungeons more exciting. If not, after, especially when we're talking about how the quest is repetitive and boring, right? after doing so one, it's so boring. So it's very exciting to anticipate or be always aware that maybe suddenly a butcher will jump out and try to kill you and all that. So I thought that was really a really good idea. I really had fun. Even though I died a lot of times, but it's still always exciting and thrilling for me to blast through and kill the butcher, try to kill the butcher. And we'll talk about Renown, one of the key aspects and controversy, right? And the most important thing. I think the Renown was fine. I think it's like it's for in terms of, I mean, like I said, casual long-term goal. This is something that we'll look into. Trying to earn Renown in every region, complete all the side quests in the region, all that, and complete all the things, and you know, I had a lot of fun just trying to get all the skill points, potion capacities, max both the paragon points. These are all pretty important. I mean, like, if you would think like casual don't care, but you know what I think is that, you know, all these upgrades are actually pretty important and in a way I say game changing for every character. So I think this thing is not limited to just hardcore or serious players, but even casual, they will really want to get a lot of these points and skill points. And I think the fact that this is resetted every season, it's actually very terrible. I'll talk more about it later in the next section when we talk about seasons. But I think as a whole, my experience with Renown, it's a chore and a grind, but it's a fun grind when doing it once. So if I have to do it once, I think it's okay. It really helped me to explore the different regions. It might make me go to places which I am not going, maybe meet some elites that I would not have seen, or regions that I probably wouldn't have gone if I decided not to, if I not thought to play this, go to that place lah. See different scenery and stuff. I'm telling you, I wouldn't have gone to this dry session, these side regions and all that, to the corner of the beach. If not of the auto lilies that are there, I'm not gonna go there. I'll probably be around in the center, just going through the dungeons, and that's about it. So it really helps to explore the area and open up the map lah, to especially casual if you want to just go around and enjoy the whole aesthetic of the game. So now, I guess it's kind of the last part. We were talking about the seasons, the whole controversy, right? So I think this whole thing on Twitter and people talking about it and saying that people didn't know that your character has to be resetted to level 1 every season. Maybe because I played PoE before or what, I have always known this to be the case, so I kind of really know that it's going to be resetted. And to me, resetting the character every level is not the problem. I think it's fine. But I think that one of the kind of issue is because, first thing is because I not only have to redo my leveling, I have to redo my Renown. So based on the most recent livestream update, right, they say that all I'm being kept is the map discovery as well as the Altar of Lilies only. This is what I don't understand about why they want to do that. I think that is great. I think Blizzard has been very good in listening to the players' opinions, and they've changed a lot of things. For example, like buffing the nightmares and everything to improve the leveling experience and all that. I think it has been great. But for me, it's like I'm not sure like what they're trying to do. If you want to go casual friendly, I feel like they're trying to do in between, which is stupid. If you want to find friendly, they should go all the way. For example, that this Renown is a clear case. I don't know why they just want to stop at Altar of Lilies and the map discovery. I don't see a reason why you want to keep this, especially skill points, potion capacity block kind of Renown system once I've unlocked it once already. Why do I have to redo it again every season? So I only just do a quick time. So like, if you can see now, I have completed, I guess, about completed 3 regions of the Paragon to unlock all the skill points and all that. Left 2 more. This has taken me, including the campaign time, right, about 3 weeks to 4 weeks. I would expect myself to, I guess, complete this whole thing in a month. So let me ask just a question. Each season is going to last probably about 3 months. So you're telling me as a casual that I have to spend 1 month or 1 month plus, I mean, depending on how much time you're playing, I think I spend a lot more time than 3 hours a day. Sometimes, on weekends I'll spend like the whole day playing. So even my time is shorter already. So you're telling me that I have to spend one month plus, essentially almost 1/3 or almost half the time of the whole season, grinding out all these upgrades and then having it resetted in another month later. That doesn't make sense, right? Why would I want to grind out the Renown? And it's not say that these Renowns are all useless items or useless stats. Maybe it's just some goal or something that is redundant, right? These are like stuff like potion capacity, skill points, paragon points, which are critical for the build. I think like casuals do care about the build a lot, and they only want to do things, and I think very important, they only want to do things once, and that's it. If you tell, I'll be honest, like when I heard the fact that I have to reset the whole thing, I essentially I didn't even want to do Renown anymore, I thought it's a complete waste of time, right? I always spend 1.5 months, and in 2 weeks, and in a month later, I'm going to get everything resetted. And I think that the side quest, why do I want to do the side quest over and over again every season? The side quest is fun once. I don't really want to do it over and over again. I don't see a reason why they can't keep it off just constant throughout the season. From Eternal Realm, if you do it once already, and that's great, and that's good too. And we can keep it that way, and we have all the upgrades kept with us. For me, like I mean, like throwing out there suggestion. If you really want us to farm out the Renown, at least give us all the upgrades that we have gotten previously already. I mean, like probably maybe the Renown, if you really want to farm a season, maybe give something like, I don't know, gold, like one like a mil gold, and decreases up as you go up and more now, right? Maybe starting from 1 million gold and going up. Like gold is kind of redundant. You can farm it up, or you can farm it up a lot more through using this Renown system. You can get more, you can do that, or you can just farm it through the dungeons, since gold is not really significant, right? I think I speak for myself as a casual. The moment I heard Renown resetted, I just gave up. Like I'm going to give season 1 a shot just because I played the game. But honestly, like if you are telling me that I have to farm the Renown every time, I'm probably not going to play the future seasons anymore, because I'll just get, this is just so tiring and painful to do, so all and over again, And so I think that, like, for me, like the main thing why people are pissed off is not because you have to re-level the seasons, what I feel. It's because of all the other additional things you have to do every season, side quests and all that, Renown. That's why it makes it really painful. And I mean, like in terms of season pass, like I don't understand why you can't just put it in the Eternal Realm lah. It's like whatever, right? You could do like just like the quest like what, completely dungeons, how many dungeons a day, then you get the points to pump out your season, to buy the season pass. Does it really matter that I have to do it during the season? I don't see a reason why lah, but maybe because I already expected. To me, like the whole reason to play ARPGs is not about the Eternal Realm, like the standard league or whatever. It's about the seasonal content. That's what I'm in for. So yeah, and I think like a lot of people say, I guess because this game has brought in a lot of new audiences, maybe they don't really understand what season means. So I think like saw a comment, they say like season is just like small mechanical changes, small build classes, which is not which is not really true. Like if you look at the trend, I mean my own experience field, right? If you talk about seasons, right? Generally speaking, a lot of this, they are like kind of, I would say, game-changing mechanics, which makes the whole game a whole new experience, whole new game to play with. So it's not just like simple, like maybe like additional gem stash, or like one extra node in your skill tree, that kind of small little changes, but are like really new things that change the whole game, how you play. For example, like whole new different crafting system of like I don't know, like give you a whole new set of skills, or maybe like a new different region to explore, different dungeon and all that. Yeah, something like something like PoE's map system, something along that lines. We sure have like nightmare, something like nightmare dungeons, but I don't know, like something like that, right? So it's something really game changing. So I think maybe they should convey more, explain more to the people about what seasons really mean. I think that's one thing. yeah, so I think like the one last thing I want to talk about the seasons is that no, I think like based on what I play, I feel like Diablo 4 doesn't really know what they want to be. I think I'll go back to this point. Are you trying to grind? I think like in terms of grinds, right, I think you should fix on one thing, either especially during seasons. Are you trying to, or like in the game, are you trying to make for people grind for levels or grind for gear? You know, I feel like in Diablo I have to do both, because I have to do both. Like I have to grind for my some of the gears, like some of the rare gears for good stats, grind for the perfect legendary aspect or artifact aspect, and all that to put into my gear. To grind for level as well to reach 100, because the leveling experience is so hard. So for example, if I talk about, I think I always refer to PoE because this is the only other experience I have. I feel you can clearly see their grind is, at least based on my experience, it's gear. Their leveling is pretty quick to reach endgame. It's super fast. You essentially can get to endgame level, max level, if you really put your heart and soul into it. A week max. You can do it in like 2 to 3 days, really easy. I think my first PoE experience, I finished the whole campaign in like 2 to 3 days. It was really fast, hit the max level, and I started doing max endgame, just running through like the max, trying to get gear already. But Diablo seems to try to make people do both, which is terrible for a casual, right? Especially when you have very little time to play. How do I balance between gear and leveling? So I feel like one thing probably they should really decide on what they want players to grind. If you want people to grind levels, maybe make the gear easier to drop, so that you could easily change for a better gear, or maybe change it to different builds. For PoE, builds are really easy for me to change around because there's so much gear drop, so much. It's so easy to level a new character. If I really wanted to, I can very easily level up a new character, and then what I have to do right after that is trying to farm for my new gear, right? The perfect 6 link. That's what that's the main part of PoE, right? Trying to get the good 6 link to make your OP weapon perfect weapon. So I don't know. I really hope Blizzard really rethinks about how they do the whole system, especially the Renown. I really hope, they really change it such that we don't have to regrind the Renown every season. I think that's just the main thing. That's very important. Please, please. I really don't want regrind the Renown over and over. That really will stop a lot of players from playing the game, I think, because it's just so tiring and painful and boring to do it the second time, third time. So I think so we now come to, I guess, the last part. I think something that I'm looking forward to in the future. I think I'm really looking forward to is the seasons. I'm really just to see what they're gonna do in season 1. I'm quite very excited in Eternal Realm. I'm gonna see what. I think they have been really responsive to players' feedback on them changing a lot of things regularly. I hope they buff some of the certain skills to make it more viable. For example, for necromancer, I was pretty interested in playing the Bloodlands, but it was just so shitty. I'm really hoping that it could change some of the skill balances so that it makes every season unique and fun, so I can play a different kind of class. So that if I play necromancer, I'm not gonna play like bone build every freaking season. I can play something else unique, like a summoning build, Bloodlands build, that kind of thing, Severe or Blight, something along that lines. It doesn't have to be always something like bone build. I think I'm very excited about the future of the game. I think this game is really good, looking good now. I hope, the more good changes to come. And I wish everyone a good day as I end of the video here. So, this is my second video. If you guys I'm also thinking about what kind of content I want to upload onto the channel on YouTube other than my vlogs on Twitch. So, if you guys have any ideas, drop down in the comments. I'd also like to hear about what you guys think about the issue as well, regardless of the issue as well. So if you guys want to catch me live, you can also catch me live on Twitch. The link should be up on the screen or in the description below. You can just click on it to watch me live as I grind through more Renown in the next couple of days. Yeah, in the meantime, always remember, the death and grind will not stop us.